This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on the South Today, Dunedin's Mayor is urging calm following the COVID-19 alert level being raised to level 2. Supermarkets across the south are busy today as some people stock up on flour and toilet paper. And former Prime Minister Helen Clark says COVID-19 is the biggest threat to the world in the modern age. Kia ora, good evening, I'm Sophie Morris. Following much of New Zealand moving back to COVID-19 alert level 2, Dunedin Mayor Aaron Hawkins is calling for people to track their movements diligently to help with any contact tracing that might be required. He says Dunedin City Council facilities and services will mostly continue as normal.
Much like it did under the last time we were in level 2, all of our essential services continue to function: curbside recycling and rubbish collection, water services, all of that fundamental functional stuff. But also, while there will be reduced hours and a reduction in some of the services that are being offered, by and large all of Council's facilities and services will continue to operate under alert level 2, whether that's Moana Pool or the public libraries or parks and reserves and all of those sorts of things. That will change potentially over time depending on the guidance that we get from the Ministry of Health. So ultimately we would encourage people to either call us 477 4000 or check the Council's website dunedin.govt.nz for the most up-to-date information about what is impacted and what isn't.
The University of Otago cancelled all face-to-face lectures and clinics for today after the announcement last night that COVID-19 community transmission is back. University of Otago students received the cancellation via text last night. The notice advised students all classes today were cancelled for the day as the university activates alert level 2 social distancing in teaching spaces. The Ministry of Health sent out text alerts to New Zealand mobile phones just after 10 p.m. last night and again just before 7 a.m. this morning. Late this afternoon, the university cancelled its August 15th graduation. And in more COVID-19 news, queues of shoppers returned to supermarkets across the south with level 2 COVID-19 restrictions coming into place at midday. Supermarkets across the south saw a steady trade throughout the day.
Supermarkets in Dunedin and Queenstown have been busier than usual after the government's announcement of level 2 COVID restrictions today. Lines of shoppers queuing outside have appeared at several Dunedin supermarkets as the stores limit the number of customers allowed in at any one time. One customer provided the Otago Daily Times with pictures they'd taken inside showing empty shelves where toilet paper or flour are usually kept. In Queenstown, supermarket staff confirmed the day is busier than usual, but say there's not been mass panic buying. At Countdown, a security guard was monitoring access to the store and ensuring the use of hand sanitizer. Gaps are appearing in Frankton's Pack and Save, where toilet rolls, flour and pasta are usually kept. Staff in the stores were busy restocking and pallets of goods could be seen in the aisles. In Queenstown and Dunedin, the South Today.
2 new national parks, including one in the Catlins, have been promised by the National Party if they get elected. The promise of a national park covering coastal forests south of Wanaka is part of National's conservation policy to protect New Zealand's backyard. The area has several waterfalls set in mixed native forests, which include Silver Beach, Rimu, Totara, Kahikatea and Rata. The coastal waters are home to a variety of wildlife, including some of New Zealand's endangered Hector's dolphins. The National Party is also promising 2 new Great Walks and recommitting to the predator-free New Zealand 2050. Former Prime Minister Helen Clark has visited Otago for a variety of reasons, including putting her weight behind a local candidate's bid for the Taieri seat. Speaking at the Mosgiel Returned and Services Association, the former Minister of Health said COVID-19 has the possibility of becoming endemic.
At home in the south, former Prime Minister Helen Clark addresses a boutique crowd at the Mosgiel RSA and says she's coming full circle with one of her southern engagements.
I've come down to support Ingrid Leary's campaign for Tairi and also once again to do the Dorothy Fraser lecture event which Claire Curran began when she first was running for Parliament for Dunedin South, and it's carried on to this day. So back to the future, having I think probably been the first speaker in the series.
Clark was the administrator of the United Nations Development Programme from 2009 to 2017 and says the COVID-19 pandemic is the biggest issue facing the planet.
I mean, the news isn't that great on a global level. The pandemic is raging. It'll hit 20 million cases anytime soon.
New Zealand's 37th Prime Minister agrees that the country she led from 1999 to 2008 is doing well under Jacinda Ardern, but says constant vigilance is needed.
New Zealand, of course, is seen as having done pretty well, but we're going to have to keep managing around this for the foreseeable future because the disease could well become endemic, meaning it won't go away.
At 70 years old, there's no sign of her slowing down. She's set up and is the chair of an independent panel to review the World Health Organisation's response to COVID-19. And she believes a travel bubble between New Zealand and the Cook Islands could help both nations.
I know that the Cooks are around 70% dependent on tourism for GDP, so they're having a very, very tough time. Now, it stands to reason that if New Zealand is not experiencing community transmission, and the Cooks certainly aren't, we should enable people to travel safely between the two.
Clark says she has strong ties to the south, with her family settling in central Otago after arriving from Europe, and says her great-great-grandfather was the first mayor of Cromwell. In Dunedin, the South Today.
Still to come on the South Today, our Clutha students learn about cultivating crops, and we bring you the latest in our Channel 39 You Choose 2020 political series.
Risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
Wrens are Otago's painting, tiling and plastering experts. Offering a free measure and quote, Wrens is a name you can trust to get the job done right. Call Wrens today on 477 9384 or visit wrens.co.nz.
Do you know Youth Grow in North East Valley? It's an awesome plant nursery where young people can work and learn life skills. You can now order your vegetable seedlings, herbs, bulbs and shrubs over the phone or by email. Either pick up your order on Norwood Street in North East Valley or they can deliver to you. Look for Youth Grow Garden Centre on Facebook or visit youthgrow.org.nz. Happy gardening!
Garrador Dunedin, delivering quality, stylish garage doors in Dunedin for over 17 years. New doors, replacement doors and maintenance are all part of Garrador's quality service. Garrador Dunedin offers a full range of modern quality doors to suit any home. Come visit the team.
Heaven Sent Pet Cremations knows that losing a pet is like losing a family member, and we have many special ways for you to keep their memory dear to your heart. From caskets, remembrance pendants to remembrance fairs, call Heaven Sent Pet Cremations today.
You've seen us in the street, now find us online. Check out shopon.org.nz. We have all sorts of treasures, from retro and vintage clothing to antiques, homewares and accessories. New items added every week. We're open 24/7.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Welcome back. School pupils in Balclutha have had a chance to discover more about their cultural roots at the Balclutha Community Gardens. Senior pupils are being given the opportunity to engage in enrichment and extension activities, which include learning sustainable methods of gardening.
These school pupils in Balclutha are getting the chance to learn about cultivating crops in an environmentally and culturally sensitive way.
I'm here to learn more about the gardening process and just turning over the soil and learning about what it is to take from the earth and give to the earth.
South Otago High School teacher Ben Whitaker says the hour or so spent tending gardens every week helps the pupils gain a deeper connection to their identity and the natural world.
The goal's a deeper understanding of our connection. So it's a Te Ao Māori course that looks at mahinga kai and kaitiakitanga, tikanga Māori and hauora. And through the gardens, we can practically and theoretically, follow some of those examples and, I guess just following the life cycles and learning from them as we go.
The pupils gain some Level 2 and Level 3 NZQA credits for their labours, plus learning a bit more about growing their own food.
Some of the children and students have had experiences in the garden and they bring that to the table, that prior knowledge. But I guess a lot of it is more so new to them and just sort of rediscovering where our food comes from.
We've done it at home before, but we're learning a lot more here, I think, than we do at home. There's lots more different things we've tried, like putting the wool around the fruit trees sort of thing that we didn't know, which can relate back to kaitiakitanga a lot.
The pupils are spending some time in the community gardens every Friday. In Balclutha, the South today.
When New Zealanders go to the polls next month, they'll have plenty of decisions to make. Over the next 2 weeks, we will bring you instalments from Channel 39's community-produced You Choose 2020 series, so you can be better informed on both local and national political discussions. Tonight's instalment looks at the different electoral districts.
In this election, we're all going to be making a couple of extra choices alongside our party and electoral votes. Before we even begin to think about which way we'll vote, though, there's something we have to consider. Are we able to? The Electoral Commission is well aware of the number of people not yet registered to vote, and it's Rachel McAnally's job to encourage Kiwis to get enrolled.
Because of COVID, it's kind of changed our voting plan a little bit, so voting will start earlier. It will start, the advanced voting period will start on the 5th of September. And it will go right through to Saturday the 19th of September, so that will be the actual election day on Saturday the 19th. Where to go and all those places will be sent out with people's voter packs, so if you're up to date on the electoral roll, you'll be sent a lovely little voter card, and on this will be the information about where the closest polling places are for you to go to. We've had a few changes, so we were previously Dunedin North, Dunedin South, so those electorate boundaries have been changed to Dunedin and Taieri. So Dunedin is the old Dunedin North and Taieri is the old Dunedin South. It also affects Southland. Clutha Southland is now Southland, so that's just part of that process, making sure that all the electorates hold about the same amount of people to make voting fair. So Dunedin has about 85% enrolment currently. We're really hoping to get that up around the 90% mark. I think Taieri The old Dunedin South is sitting a little bit higher, but we really want to ensure that people keep themselves up to date, as well as Waitaki and Rangitata, which also fall under us. So we've got a huge drive this election for the 18 to 24 age group. We really want our youth to get out there and voting, and we have a youth team out doing lots of various activities at the moment, encouraging youth to get themselves enrolled and take part in democracy.
And we'll bring you the next instalment of You Choose 2020 in tomorrow night's bulletin, or alternatively you can watch the full episode at odt.co.nz. After the break, Mid-Canterbury students put their engineering and science skills to the test, and we check out tomorrow's weather.
Come on, mate. The blue doesn't go with the brown.
Garage Dunedin, delivering quality, stylish garage doors in Dunedin for over 17 years. New doors, replacement doors and maintenance are all part of Garage quality service. Garage Dunedin offers a full range of modern quality doors to suit any home. Come visit the team.
Do you know Youth Grow in North East Valley? It's an awesome plant nursery where young people can work and learn life skills. You can now order your vegetable seedlings, herbs, bulbs and shrubs over the phone or by email. Either pick up your order on Norwood Street in North East Valley or they can deliver to you. Look for Youth Grow Garden Centre on Facebook or visit youthgrow.org.nz. Happy gardening!
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Wrens are Otago's painting, tiling and plastering experts. Offering a free measure and quote, Wrens is a name you can trust to get the job done right. Call Wrens today on 477 9384 or visit wrens.co.nz.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
Step into Shop on Carol and discover a shop full of treasures. We have a fantastic range of vintage and retro clothes, upmarket clothing labels, collectible items, beautiful jewellery, quality linen and the best range of vintage haberdashery.
Heaven Sent Pet Cremations knows that losing a pet is like losing a family member, and we have many special ways for you to keep their memory dear to your heart. From caskets, remembrance pendants to remembrance spheres. Call Heaven Sent Pet Cremations today.
Ah, TV, our favourite babysitter. But it can be tough keeping up with what our tamariki are watching. Luckily, the Broadcasting Standards Authority has made some smart changes to the classification labels. Ooh! Plus changes to the time of day certain rated shows will air and awesome new parental lock features, meaning your babysitter's job is safe. Find out more at safeviewing.co.nz.
Inside are all sorts of innovations from all over China.
Welcome back. Mid-Canterbury students have combined elements of engineering and science and have been tested at the ePro 8 Challenge. Teams of intermediate age youngsters met to battle in Ashburton, tackling a variety of challenges.
Ashburton Intermediates Hall is a hive of activity as teams from across the region take part in the ePro 8 Technology Challenge.
And so we're running events all over the country, so this is one of the events we've got in the Canterbury region. We've also got events in Otago that we're running later in the week. and they've got a variety of different science and engineering based challenges for the kids to choose from.
Challenge event manager Kevin Thiel says the teams choose to either craft their own mini roller coaster, develop a multifaceted crazy party contraption, they could make a motorised supermarket trolley racer, or even explore the elements behind the legend of Maui capturing the sun.
Design each of the challenges so they've got engineering aspects to it, which is basically practical science, and they've also got practical maths. So we're very passionate about that one, measurements and doing those real basic, practical everyday calculations. So most of the challenges have lots of measurement elements and lots of solving with maths sort of things.
Thiel says the challenges are being held around the country with an event in Dunedin soon. He says all of the projects encourage fun learning across maths and science. In Ashburton, the South Today.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South Today. This afternoon, Dunedin's Mayor is urging calm following the COVID-19 alert level being raised to level 2. Supermarkets across the South were busy today with queues forming as some people stocked up on flour, toilet paper and pasta. And speaking in Dunedin yesterday, former Prime Minister Helen Clark says COVID-19 is the biggest threat to the world in the modern age. And time now for a look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT. Welcome, Craig.
Good evening.
Good evening.
COVID. Again, it feels like we've had this conversation before in recent months.
It
does.
Yes.
So of course we're back to level 2 and 4 cases out in the community and another 4 suspected cases confirmed today. Plenty in tomorrow's newspaper about that. The university confirming that Saturday's graduation has been cancelled as well, and of course that brings thousands of people to the city, so that's the flow-on effects. While they're in lockdown in Auckland, it's affecting the whole country in one way or another. For some people, it's their second graduation in recent months that's been cancelled, so it's a bit of a blow for them. So we look at the impact that that's having on the city in terms of accommodation. Lots of hotels, motels have had last-minute cancellations in the last 24 hours. Impacting hugely on them, of course, and the restaurants as well. It's hard to get anywhere to eat on a graduation night in Dunedin, so yeah, lots of problems there. It was going to be coupled, of course, with the Highlanders match as well. Hurricanes played on Saturday night. That's still going on, but of course with the gathering restrictions, it may be without a crowd. So yeah, another setback for businesses at a time when they were just kind of feeling they might be starting to pick up again. So. We also discussed the psychological impact a return to COVID restrictions is going to have on people and offer some expert advice on how to get through those trying times, so pretty important there. Something a bit special for readers as well, it's not all doom and gloom. We caught up with a group of Otago Polytechnic students who recently started making face masks for their friends and family. So they've shared their secrets and pattern designs with us tomorrow. We've got a pattern and step-by-step instructions on how to make your own face masks. So I might do a few businesses out of some trade, but good to do. And sport as well. Again, we have a look at what sport's going to look like under level 2 restrictions. The Steel and Tactics match, it was the Steel's first home and only home game in Dunedin this year. That's been cancelled on Sunday.
Yes.
I mentioned the rugby as well. We still don't know what's going to happen there, but if it does go ahead, likely to be in front of a pretty small crowd. Club sport, most organisations keen to carry on, but they're sort of waiting for some direction from the national bodies, I guess, on where they go for this. Technically, they can play under level 2, but lots of restrictions in terms of gathering of numbers. We can't have any more than 100, and they've also got to be pretty strong in their contact tracing as well. So when you consider a lot of volunteers are organising this sport, it's a big ask for them to get that up and running. So we'll know more in coming days on that, but yeah, plenty on COVID tomorrow in the paper.
Right, thank you, Craig. Lots to read in the ODT. And time now for a look at the weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by Mole Map.
Starting with the city view, Queen Rose Retirement Home in South Dunedin. Looking at the situation, very cold air from the Southern Ocean will arrive over southern districts tomorrow, bringing some brief wintry showers. A fine Friday lies ahead, but with very cold temperatures. Starting off at the northwest of the South Island, Greymouth and Westport can expect cloud and 13 degrees. Across to the northeast, Nelson and Blenheim can expect partial cloud with 13 degrees in Blenheim and Nelson. Moving down to Canterbury, Christchurch can expect fog and 12 degrees, while Kaikoura and Ashburton can expect scattered showers and 11. To the southern towns, the Catlins, Balclutha, Lumsden and Gore can expect moderate southerlies, some showers and 7 degrees. In central, light southerlies and snow showers later in the day for Wanaka and Queenstown with 7 degrees. Similar in Alexandra with 8 degrees, and light winds and cloud in Te Anau with 8 degrees. To the northern towns, moderate southerlies and showers later in the day on the coast with 10 degrees for Timaru and 8 for Oamaru. Inland southerlies and snow showers later in the day with an 8-degree high for Twizel and Omarama. And Dunedin, cloudy tonight with some showers and an overnight low of 5. Overcast with showers tomorrow and some sleet on the hills with moderate southwesterlies, high of 7 and a low of 4. Becoming fine and sunny on Friday, but very cold with southeasterly winds dying out. Frost will come on Friday night with a high of 8 and a low of -1. And in Invercargill, showers tonight with an overnight low of 4. Wintry showers at first tomorrow with some sleet, but showers clearing during the day. Very cold with moderate southwesterlies, a high of 6 and a low of 2. Becoming fine and sunny on Friday with very cold temperatures and light winds. Frosty Friday night with a high of 8 and a low of -2. That's all for our news this Wednesday. For the latest news from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz or follow Channel 39 on Facebook and YouTube. Thanks for joining us. Ka kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.